Pandora Tomorrow.
It wasn't your day.
Well, I wasn't very good in simulation.
The NSA just called me. We have a problem in East Timor.
What kind of problem?
A big one.
What is Douglas doing here?
That's exactly what you have to find out, sir.
The Dara Dan Doa, an Indonesian guerrilla group led by Suhardi Sudarno, has invaded the U.S. Embassy to Dili to retaliate for the installation of a U.S. military base in East Timor.
Fisher, welcome back to the front.
Hey everybody, it's Cotton here, and I am bringing you Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow for the Xbox. Now, once again, just like my first Splinter Cell game, this will be a full stealth playthrough, meaning I will not cause any alarms.
What are you doing, Fisher?
Heading out to sea.
Alright, no alarms and not being noticed by anybody, not killing them, and not knocking them out. But right here at the very beginning, there's a bit of a secret already, right at the beginning. If you stay in the water for a little bit, Lambert will occasionally get angry at you.
What the hell are you doing?
Trying to convince you it's time to let me retire.
That's not funny.
So as long as you don't jump up onto the ledge and just hang out in the water here for a little bit, Lambert will chime in and yell at you and get very angry. And he still has one more response before he just doesn't say anything at all.
This is not amusing. You're carelessly putting lives at risk. Get back to shore, Fisher. You've got a mission.
And that's it. So you can move on and there's nothing left for you to hear.
Let's work on stealth. Your gun should always be your last resort. Invisibility is your best weapon. We've got a network of photocells on your suit connected to a visibility meter on your OPSAT. If the meter's at 3, you're lit up like Times Square.
So this level is basically just a tutorial level to show you how the game works, what all the buttons do, and your basic Splinter Cell gameplay. And then these, you can press these to get a hint that just kind of tells you exactly what Lambert just told you. One new thing is your pistol. If you press the left trigger, it will create a laser sight, and so this is really nice because this shows you exactly where your bullet's going to go, as opposed to this crosshair where the bullet could appear anywhere randomly inside. This shows you exactly where the bullet's going to go, so it's good for aiming at something really far away if you need to. Like, let's see if I can... Nope, I can't hit it, but you know, you get the idea. And so at the bottom, you know, it's just giving you all those little tips and stuff. But the last thing to remember about this is that enemies can see that laser sight. So you want to be careful not to do that in front of an enemy, because they will see it and they will notice you. And so this is all your basic stuff. There's ladders, there's, you know, this here. And I'm actually going to fall down and take some damage, just because I want to show you guys how the medkits work in this game. The medkits were changed in this game from the original Splinter Cell in that they are not items in your inventory, but instead they are found throughout the level, and they have like a certain charge, I suppose, and so depending on how much health you lost, it will take away a certain amount of its, a medkit's charge. And I thought there was supposed to be something said there, but I guess I forgot. Now, one thing right here is, one thing that's different is that in this game, when you're on the pipe, you press Y to bring your legs up. Whereas in the first game, you press B to bring your legs up or down, and then you press Y to jump off. So that's something to remember when you play this game. They changed it a little bit, and yeah, it might throw you off the first time you're playing, and you might have to get a little used to it, especially if you just came off the first Splinter Cell game, or, you know, if you've played it a lot. And so right here, you'll notice this is similar to the GameCube and PS2 versions of Splinter Cell. They have your options right here. So, wrong button, let's see, which one was it? The optic cable is no longer an equipable item that you have to use in order to, you know, peek under a door. It's now labeled right here, easily for you to get to, which was a very nice change that they did in the GameCube and PS2 versions that is now a standard feature in the Splinter Cell games. And the same goes for the lockpicks. The lockpicks are not an equipable item. If you come up to a locked door, it will automatically say lockpick, and so you can just press it, and then you can start the lockpicking, which works exactly the same way as it did in the previous game, where you wiggle the joystick in a certain quadrant of the joystick circle, and then just kind of wiggle it back and forth until you unlock it. So right here is just showing you everything going through ladders, pipes, doors, using optic cables, which I guess I can show the optic cable, you know, it's the same. But another nice feature is that it does not automatically go into night vision. I believe the first one did that. This one, you can do your thermal, you can take it off, you can have night vision, you know, so it's really nice in this game. And so night vision is a bit different because it's in black and white, as opposed to the first game where it was kind of greenish and more of what you're typically used to with night vision goggles, where it's green. In this game, it's black and white.
Before you infiltrate the embassy, let me reintroduce D.P. Brunton, our interagency consultant. He's got an update for the mission.
I'll keep it brief. I'm sure you know I'm excited to be part of the team. The Joint Chiefs want this mission kept non-lethal and alarms at flat zero. We can't endanger the hostages.
Understood.
Dang it, I forgot this was here.
And with some due respect, leave anything Lambert can say to Lambert. I don't want the voices in my head to become a crowd.
Get inside the embassy. This situation is delicate and largely unknown, so walk softly.
And so right there's some ammo for you to pick up for your pistol. Whoops. Right, yeah, I believe this is a different button as well to put your back against the wall. Now right here we're going to see a new mechanic. This is called the SWAT turn. If you're peeking around the corner and you're next to another wall that you could put your back against to, you can do the SWAT turn. And when you do that, you are completely invisible when you do that. No matter how much light might be in the middle, if you do the SWAT turn, you are completely invisible. Which, personally, I have to say, I don't really like it that much because, you know, if this were real life, that wouldn't make you invisible, and I kind of like Splinter Cell being a little bit more on the realistic side instead of these, you know, little gameplay gimmicks where they're like, oh, here's how you can be really stealthy by doing a SWAT turn. But yeah, like that one guy said, we cannot kill anybody, we cannot raise any alarms. So, normally what you could do, you could probably reach up and grab him, but the game kind of wants to show you how, like, you know, the lighting effects work and how you can use distractions and darkness to sneak past people. And I keep pressing the wrong button there. So this guy's going to move forward a bit, but then he'll eventually move back and take a look at that light, and that will give us a chance to go past him. Now right up here, if you put on your thermal goggles, you'll notice that there are landmines right there, so you need to walk underneath this area right here. And so right there are more landmines, so what you have to do is just jump up here and then climb along the ledge, and this just shows you, you know, how to do this ledge climbing and stuff that was used quite a bit in the first game and is also used again in this game. And so let's see. Okay, yeah, I remember this. The wall hang is back, but a little differently. When you're in the middle of two areas like this, you can hang along the wall, but what they added was the ability to jump from that position. And so you can lean against one side and you'll jump on the other side. So that's how you can reach some higher places in the game. Once again, I'm not entirely too sure if that's very realistic. I've, you know, never really been in a situation where I can try to jump off of a wall, but I really don't know if that's entirely possible in real life, but who cares?
Grim's found you a back door.
Avoid the main gate at all cost. Blueprints show an ornamental stream running beneath the entrance. Looks like a viable way in.
A little wet's better than a little dead. That stream's your way in, even if it means moving slowly to minimize your noise level. Fisher, be careful. This village is a walk in the park compared to what needs to be done inside the embassy.
Okay, so here can be a little bit tricky. There's a guy right there, but he does have a like light on his head. He has a flashlight on his head, so if you do make noise, he will turn that on and search for you. But right here, you don't want to move too quick, because if you move too quickly, there's a bunch of birds in the area and you'll scare them off, and that'll make this guy look around and turn on that flashlight. So right here, I'm just going to wait for him to have his back towards me, and then I'm going to make my way underneath the bridge. And so he stopped right there, so I'm going to see if I can just get as close as I can to here. And yeah, he's still looking, he's not doing anything. Come on, buddy. That's the first level, and you still have a lot of waiting to do on your enemies. And so remember, if you're in the water, you do make a lot of noise, so there is some land that you can kind of get close to there. Let's see, I don't believe he actually ends up on this side of the bridge, so once you get here, you're pretty much in the clear. There's a little bit of land that you can walk along to move a little bit faster. But where we need to go is right over here. Shoot. And I just scared the birds away. Luckily that guy is far enough away for him to not notice.
The situation is getting worse in the embassy. They seem to be killing hostages now.
I've got a man in my way, Lambert. How flexible is my zero fatality mandate?
As a rock. In fact, we want you to make a new friend. From your onboards, that man looks like one of Sedano's lieutenants. Interrogate him. Find out what he knows about Sedano's defense parameters. The chatter we're sifting sounds bad, but lacks specifics. Details on your OPSAT.
Okay, so Lambert tells you to grab this guy and interrogate him, but you don't have to do it. He does mention something, he mentions an important character that shows up a little bit later in the game, but I also want to show off another new feature, and that is the whistle, which is probably one of the best things that has happened in a Splinter Cell game. You can now distract enemies without having to jump around or run around like I had to do in the first game. And so, all you do is press the right bumper, and that makes this guy get up. And there's also another guy inside the building, and that will also make him come out and look around as well. And so, what I'm trying to do is get in between there and do the double jump. Oh shoot, but that looks like I'm not... Uh-oh. Oh, look at this. There's already, I already have to restart. This part is, actually a little tricky. And, yeah, the game just loads automatically right here. So they're just going to be repeating the same things.
I've got a man in my way, Lambert. How flexible is my
I'm wondering if I can actually just shoot that out from maybe at a distance or something and then whistle over there. I'm going to see if I can do that. I have practiced this and I have made it through, but yeah, there are a few like other factors involved, so I can't whistle. There we go. Looks like I had to wait for that text to finish before I could whistle. But taking out that light gives me a lot more darkness to move around in. Shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. Dang it. As long as you're underneath that third block, you know, in your lightness meter, you know, you see there's like 3 blocks. As long as you're within the third one, nobody will see you. So now I'm going to make my chance to come over here. And you can climb up that pipe if you want to, but since I'm playing weird, I'm just going to jump up here, jump up, and then climb over. And I think that guy might have just had a split second where he where he saw me and tried to call me in, but we made it to the loading screen. Private Military Corporation CEO Douglas Shetland is trapped inside the embassy, in possession of intelligence that cannot be allowed into enemy hands. Okay, so I think this will do right here for the first episode, and hey, look at that, there's wire that magically appeared over where we just crossed where there wasn't any wire in the first place. But luckily we reached the loading screen before that guy could actually call in and make an alert, but before I finish off the video, I guess I can show off the menu screens. When you press the let's see, the start button is just your regular options and whatnot, and then the back button gives you your goals, certain notes for the mission you're playing, your data. This is much like how it was in the first Splinter Cell. So there's a picture of Doug Shetland, and then it also has your inventory. And yeah, so it gives you a description, shows you how many you have, how many you can carry. I thought there was somewhere that gave like a short video showing you how something was used, but that might be later on in the game. I can't remember. So I will finish it off here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.